So I'm there, and we're walking around the slave quarters, different things of that nature, and I saw a little book on the wall. And I started looking at the book, and I noticed I saw this lady's name in the book with my great-grandmother's name. I'm like, this can't be. And it's like Tuscumbia, Alabama. Somebody, nah, no way. So I picked the phone up and called my aunt. And it was my great-grandmother in the book. I didn't know. She never told me when I was there. She babysat Helen Keller.
What? I am so glad to be here with Coach Tony.
Dad, I'm glad to be here.
So happy to be here. Can we just jump in?
Like a dog boy does football.
Love it. All right. Let's do it.
It's like, no need to mess with the low dial. We go to the high dial.
That's right.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. It's so good to see you and have you here. Let's hang out.
Hang out with the sassy doctor in the house, pumped up. You know what I mean? Coach don't get pumped up. I was pumped up. The kid was sassy.
Yeah. I want to hear your story. I would love to hear where you were born, where you were raised, your family life. Like I want to hear where you came from.
Yeah, I'm a up north guy with a southern background. So
Okay.
my mom's from Alabama.
Okay.
13 brothers and sisters.
What?
Big family.
What?
Athletes, military, family, educated.
And you're number what?
I am the oldest grandchild. So I'm
Okay.
the first grandchild, but they treat me like the youngest brother.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, but I still give them respect. Still, oh, well, this, that. I don't call them by their name.
So you're the youngest.
Yeah,
That's why we connect, because I'm the baby in my family.
that's exactly why we can. I say, oh, we do it. And how big is your family?
I have 2 older sisters.
So, okay.
And then my father had 3 other children from another marriage. So I'm technically number 6.
Now, mom and dad's got a pretty big family. Like, you got a lot of uncles and aunts?
We're a pretty small family these days.
We're big. And when I say big, I'm talking about, at 13 brothers and sisters. I remember as a kid sometime, I was born in Chicago. I tried Chicago. Let's go Bears.
Yeah.
Bear Nation. And summertime was a little different in Chicago. We're talking about 80s, so Chicago. So we're talking about it was really rough. For those that don't really know, remember Good Times?
Yeah.
You remember Mr. T?
Yeah.
All that. So those are the side of the city. I'm from the south side of Chicago. So I always have to reference that sometime. That was right outside of that era.
Okay.
So to keep me out of gang violence, to keep me out of different things, mom said, hey, and we'll send you south to go with your relatives. And I was upset.
You were.
Yeah, because I'm in the city. You know what I mean? I'm like, go south. But then when I got to Alabama in my summer times, I loved it. My aunt lived here in Nashville.
Well, hang on a minute. So you were in Chicago and then your mom sent you to Alabama?
Correct. But
At what age?
I was coming to Alabama probably right outside of Pampers.
Right outside of Pampers. As a little toddler?
Yes, every year. So now the difference was in Chicago, grammar school, as you guys call preschool or whatever, but grammar school, we don't start school till Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
Recently, they've moved it up now to about probably middle of August. But when I was in school, we didn't start till Labor Day.
Okay.
And in the South, you guys always started school right out there, July, right into the first of August. So basically, I got 30 days at home in Chicago to play with friends because the entire summer I was spent in the South. But it was good because I learned about being on a farm. Learned about, playing in the open air. Not really worried about a lot of things. And then the area, like growing up here in Tennessee, majority of the neighborhood was family.
Yeah.
So you really weren't outside with strangers because everybody in the neighborhood was your cousin.
So great.
Yeah, so it was one to the next. And so I remember one year coming home, we had a family reunion at Doc Sassy. I'm talking like maybe 350, 400 people.
Wow. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, we went to a family reunion. First through fourth cousin, we had to take buses, like Greyhound buses.
Wow.
Yeah.
To get everybody
there, and it was just amazing to see your family. And got an interesting story. Family in Alabama tied to civil rights. We found out we got relatives in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Okay.
That my great-great-grandmother, last slave of the family.
Okay.
I remember as a kid, I remember her.
Really?
Yes, and it was interesting because I remember one summer I was reading a history book, and she asked me what was I reading. She came on the porch, and took the book and slung it across the yard.
See my hearts.
She said that was real history. Said, sit down, let me tell you the real history. And she pointed out the things around Alabama, the whipping tree and how it got its name, the hanging tree and all that. And I was stuck. Yeah, I'm a Chicago guy. We weren't dealing with this. And my mom was that.
And how old were you when you had that conversation? Or no, it was what?
My mom, we call her Big Mom.
This was the last slave, that was the
My great
conversation?
grandmother. Yeah.
What was her name?
Her name was Mary Pearsall.
Mary.
Yeah, Mary. Grandma. We call her Big Mom.
Called her Big Mom?
Big Mama.
Big Mom?
Big Mama. Hey. And Big Mama, she always walked with a cane. And it was like now, what in the cane was like, you see the 10 Commandments on TV with Moses had the big cane.
Yeah, yeah.
So you walk with one of those, not the little bitty ones.
That's a big cane. Like she's not playing.
No,
You're very not playing.
You ever get those legs? It's like,
What did she say? Here's the whipping tree and here's...
she's just showing me, it was so funny because I try to recreate that with my kids. And then I take them down there to see my relatives. But she pointed out where back in the day, if a black man was caught looking at a white woman or something wrong in the time in the 50s and 60s, but this was early on, they were hung, they were whooped. Different things she explained to me about the stuff that was going on in the South that the books weren't going to explain.
She told you the truth.
Yeah, told me the truth of there. And the biggest scare of all, and I remember telling my son the story. I was probably 11, 12 years old. And there was a butcher shop. Remember back in the day, you go to the butcher to get all your food. So, you really didn't understand we're kind of poor because everybody in the neighborhood's kind of the same thing. Yeah, we just hung out and played.
Made it work.
And she sent you over to the butcher every day. And the butcher, I thought, was a pretty cool guy, but it was, again, man from up north, not able to read people.
Yeah.
I was just speaking to people and do what I was told to do and come back home.
Yeah.
And one Saturday, and she said, "Hey, you know who that is?" I'm like, "Nah, I have no idea." She's like, "That's the Grand Clerk of the Flag." I'm like, "Huh? What?" And I had never met him in my life. You know what I mean? I never seen. And she said, "I'm going to show you." And she woke me up Saturday morning, and I think I was probably like about 11, 12 years old. And for the first time in my life, man, I seen them march down the street with horses and stuff, and it blew me away because. Again, coming from the city of Chicago, that's not going to happen. And I got to
Where to Alabama was this?
So my people are at northern Alabama, so it's in the Shoals area, as they call the Tri-Cities. You got most Shoals, Sheffield, Florence, Alabama. Fast forward.
Pretty down there.
Oh, I loved it. And go down and golf, go down and have some good time, and go do some fishing. Real good. Yep. And so. It was interesting, but it taught me a lot.
I bet.
And it gave me a different respect for my family, and all that. And fast forward, I end up in Cincinnati, Ohio, years later, as an adult coaching my AAU team.
Yeah.
And they have an African-American museum there.
Yeah.
By Three Rivers Taylor.
Okay.
Everyone who I've sent to Doc Sassy loved it. Everybody. Because everyone takes a little different from it.
Sure.
So I'm there, and we're walking around the slave quarters and different things of that nature. And I saw a little book on the wall. And I started looking at the book. And I noticed I saw this lady's name in the book with my great-grandmother's name. I'm like, this can't be. And it's like Tuscumbia, Alabama. Somebody, nah, no way. So I picked the phone up and called my aunt. And it was my great-grandmother in the book. I didn't know. She never told me when I was there. She babysat Helen Keller.
What?
Yes. And so
Wait.
Yeah.
Mama, Mary,
It said
Mary, but is that Helen Keller?
Helen Keller.
Oh, faint.
Yeah, I was.
I love Helen Keller.
Yeah.
That was on word.
Yes, and so I just said,
Wait, she babysat Helen Keller. Big Mama, Big Mary,
yeah.
babysat Helen.
So I got a piece of history in that museum in my family. It's amazing.
Wait, before Helen could talk or not? Before she could talk?
Yeah, after she was going through her stuff, she was, back in the day, all we could do was clean the houses.
Right.
So she was also home. She took care of the home, so they helped her. Yep. And I didn't know that until I saw that book. And if I'd have never seen that book, Doc, I'd have never known because it was never revealed to me. Yep. So I got a good family.
That is a sacred and wonderful
Yes.
thing. I love. I wonder what it is.
Yes, and it's just it made me at that time. It made you as a person. If you were working, you weren't working hard enough.
Right.
That's what kind of gave me my work ethic, and I laugh. I just say,
If we're working, you weren't working hard enough, or no matter how hard you worked.
because she was working. She was working. She was working. I had 13 kids working.
Wow. Wow.
So, yeah, that was kind of interesting. So it kind of put a different spin and thought on the family. And then I never forget after that when I called my aunt, she was like, "Yeah, and you got some history right there." And it just,
Same thing.
yeah, so amazing.
You know, when I met you, I was like, there's something special about this man.
Oh yeah, and yeah, man, it was just like a magnetic force.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, that was cool. Plus, our lab was so sassy. Oh my god.
Can't not laugh.
She never laugh on that. Oh man, I thought it was awesome.
So, okay, so fast forward. How did you get into basketball? Like, where did that all come about?
Family. You know, I got
Family.
basketball players, football players, pros in the house, and ex guys who played. And I was the next one that supposed to came up playing football. And but I was in Chicago. I was good as a kid. In summers I was in Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh, I was quick. If I got out to the outside, Sassy, you wasn't catching me. I was gone. But when I got to Chicago and started playing, whole nother ball game because you're looking at as a kid in the city in the early 80s, winter was coming quick.
Okay.
If you got to Halloween and it wasn't already in the 20s and 30s, you're okay. But for my entire grammar school through high school, we were seeing gray skies from Halloween through probably spring break.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you were in Chicago, the weather was going to probably be anywhere from a low of 22, 23 to maybe a high of 40, 41. And then you get to December, January, it may dip down to 0. And you're playing football on AstroTurf, which is basically concrete with carpet.
Right.
And these guys were tackling you and you scrape your arm up and then they throw snow in your face. And one day I got up, went in the basketball gym and I saw cheerleaders induced being
Yeah, football.
80-degree weather. I was like, hey, forget football. I'm going right
You
here.
know, my husband and I were in Chicago one Christmas, and I had to take a cab from one block to the other because I
And those are river blocks.
going to die of the freezing colds. So I can only imagine how you felt as a kid, like, oh, it's on the cold.
Yes, and I explained to my son, I said, you ever seen, and you'll get this because it'll go back to your point. You ever seen people while you were there in Chicago walk on the sidewalk? And we got real blocks. Those are just not the blocks you see here in Nashville.
Man, they're for real.
Yeah, downtown Michigan Avenue are the real blocks.
Yeah.
And I said, that's why we dance when we walk. He said, what do you mean? Take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, You walk down the street, you do it a Texas 2-step,
To get through it.
Yeah, to get through it. But that way, and that's why they called it the Hulk, And I think the coldest probably I've ever experienced, and schools don't shut down, is probably I want to say maybe 84, 85. I think we got down to a low of like minus 22, 23 degrees, and a wind chill factor about.
The wind chill in Chicago is crazy.
Yeah. And I never knew about this vortic thing until recently. So when we were coming up in Chicago and in New York, it was the Alberta Clipper because of Canada being so close to the U.S. So when the newscaster would say, or the guy on the weather would say, tonight we got an Alberta Clipper. You already know, get the long johns out, get the school cats out, get the Parkers out.
All of it.
All of it.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow it's freezing.
Got it.
And I walked to school every day, Dr. Sass. Pops didn't take us to school at all. By the time I got up and walked several blocks to get on the CTA bus to go to school, my school was 1.25 miles. So I walked 1.25 miles. You know how they say I walked 1 mile in my shoes?
I feel those ways.
That's right, barefoot. I did all that. So
Okay, so basketball, you fell in love with it immediately.
out there, started playing ball, never left. And Chicago in the 80s were tough. I spent some time again. My summer vacations was there in New York, back home in Chicago, where relatives at. So I kind of got that grit grime in me. And you weren't going to play basketball in Chicago and be soft with it. And plus, I had this, in my personal opinion, I came to Chicago at the time probably with some of the best ball players ever. Tim Hardaway, Nick Anderson, Kendall Gill, my guy Kenny Miller, Randy Brown, who played the Bulls, the three rings. And this was pre Kevin Garnett and these guys. And Chicago basketball at that time in the 80s, you're not going to beat it. Unfortunately, if you go back and look at documentaries, there was a ball player by the name of Ben Wilson. He was like the next Magic Johnson in high school. 6'8", could do everything. And we were set to play them one day, and he got shot and killed. He had such a big name, it rang around the United States. It was on the front page of the news and all that. Just kind of show you the empathy of Chicago at that time and what you were experiencing. And then you playing basketball, Dr. Sassy, and we had 79 blocks of housing projects, the biggest in the United States. I'm talking about buildings big enough that here in Nashville, one project couldn't fill one building.
Wow.
So we talk about 13, 15-story project at Basics.
Yes.
And it was amazing, but as a basketball player, it was kind of like the bad guys in the neighborhood, you were off limits.
Okay.
Because the old word was, if Dr. Sassy make it, we all make it, So when you make it out the neighborhood, we all make it. So if you had those guys behind you and you really could play and they know you weren't coming in the neighborhood, doing anything disruptive, trying to steal one of the girls out of the neighborhood, you were just a ball player, you had a pass.
Got it.
So I loved it, got into basketball, never left my blood, graduated, finished out playing ball, decided to move to Nashville. And at the time when the financial crisis hit, I was actually training and working. And lucky I was, because when that happened, I came here with Motorola and Nextel spread with the little walkie-talkies, if you remember back with that. And lucky I was training with basketball, and I moved right into basketball. 25 years later, been in college, now back to high school, and it's been great. I've put well over probably 300, 400 kids at the next level. So it's been great. It's great to see them come back. And I can give one quick shout out. I got out of my kids that's played for me. I just on the phone with him this morning. Congratulations to my kid, Kevin Giltner, who is from Ditson or Harpeth, Tennessee, played with Harpeth High School.
Okay.
Played for him. He is now the new head coach at Wofford University in Carolina. So, awesome.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to talk about how coaching and mentoring the person, like what I sense with you is it's not just about basketball, it's about the person. Can you just talk about all the different things you've seen with young people through the years and how you've helped them? I'm sure you've helped them uh, overcome challenges in life and all kinds of things that they come to you for as a coach. It's not just about basketball, right? It's about life too.
That's a great question, because how you look at your back door, you see a mountain, you got peaks and valleys, right? And you say, oh man, that's a beautiful mountain. But I really like to be at that mountain because it's closer to the beach,
Yeah.
right? So that's the same thing with these athletes. I've been in situations, Doc, where I've had gone to bad neighborhoods where you wouldn't dare go.
Okay.
I've been out of the country, and being a coach, it's just that word, the coach, opens up a door of protectivity. Uh, I've had some kids where they had no money at all, that I basically put them on my payroll out of my pocket for the summer. I've had some parents that had no transportation, that I went and picked up kids from their home, brought them to the gym, practiced them, took them back home. And I'm always a big believer of, mindset of the athlete, right? Because when you're an athlete and you start out, whether it's young, old, whenever you start, the end goal is the same. Hopefully you can be the best you can be, and it can take you the highest, whether it's professional, college, wherever it may go.
Yeah.
I never really push my kids and talk about the professional side. I mainly talk to them about the education side, utilizing. I always tell the little thing, and my kids will laugh when they watch this. Learn how to use the basketball. It'll open a lot of doors. But if you let the basketball use you, you'll be a has-been. And now, how breaking that down, if you learn to control this basketball, male or female, you graduate high school, have the opportunity to play at the next level, college, whether that be junior college, D3, doesn't matter.
Whatever.
But you get a chance to be one of the small elites that had an opportunity to continue. When you finish and it's all said and done, and people like you high up on the pedestal and you see that resume and it says athlete, it does something to a CEO or CFO because majority of those people are ex-athletes themselves.
Because they know how to work on it in a team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They know how to fight. They know how to get information. They're not going to quit. So my whole thing was teaching them how to be mentally tough and use that mental toughness to get the education. And if the education allowed them to be mentally tough and they could put it all together and get to the next level, then kick the door in. Don't open it. Kick it down.
Kick it down.
Kick it down.
Tony.
I'm here. Boom.
Kick it.
Yeah, that's what we do, Sass.
How did you get a heart this big?
You know, it was so funny, again, I can go back growing up, when I'm watching my family in Alabama, right? I see the background of my mom, the civil rights. As a kid, I'm on that cutting edge where I don't really understand it, but I understand it. And I get put in my face, but then I'm in the city of Chicago, whereas that real city of Chicago come in the 80s. This is way before the Bulls started winning rings. And you started to see neighborhood by neighborhood as it was changing, and the bad neighborhoods were getting worse, and then the better neighborhoods were growing. And when you start to see that, this is all about giving back. And the funny part about what you just said is I never even intended to even go back into basketball. So when I moved here, I was in corporate America.
Yeah.
And it was really funny. I never forget, I was at Williamson County Rec Center.
Okay.
And I'm shooting around. We're playing in the men's league at that time. So I got y'all still playing ball. If I could still get down. Okay, I believe you. So I was playing and this guy came up to me and he says, "Man, I like how you play ball. My son, needs a trainer." I'm like, "Get out of here. I don't do that." And he's like, "Have you ever thought about it?" "Not really." He's like, "I pay you to do it." I'm like, "Get out of here." He said, "Yeah." So okay, give me a few, let me think about it. About a week or two went by and took the kid out. The kid was pretty talented and started training. And he became my first client that became many of whatever that's actually opened up. And because of that kid, when I told you about the crisis hit 2010, because of my training and the contacts I started to gather, that's how I was able to transition from corporate America in the sports coaching, because I had developed that background over those last few years.
So that's been how many years now?
25 now on the bench. And I was one of the first.
How many kids is that?
Too many to count.
A lot. You're one of the first to what?
See, I was one of the first coaches here in Nashville when Nashville started to put AAU programs together. I won a national championship in 2005 and 2011. With a group of kids from Nashville beat the country.
What AU stands for?
Average Athletic Unit, which is the summer of kids. Now girls are playing summer basketball, boys playing summer basketball, now girls doing flag football and all that 7-on-7. That's the way for the kids to kind of extend their school without being in school, so to speak. And that's a chance they get an opportunity to run with other kids. So you may be from the suburb and I'm from the city, Sassy, but we play together in the snow.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, that's been the greatest.
There's all walks of life.
Love it. I got kids I had kids that were from Brentwood, kids that were from Bellmead, Bellevue. I had kids from Huntsville, Alabama, getting together and making one team.
And then kids from like Bordeaux?
Oh, no. I had kids coming from Oklahoma. I had a kid,
all over the
I had a kid flying in from Oklahoma at that time playing for me. I had a kid coming in from Indianapolis playing for me. I had a kid coming in from South Georgia playing for me. We were huge. At that time when AAU got started, there was only about 4 or 5 good teams in Nashville. And the gyms were literally on Saturday afternoon were feel like it was a Friday night going to high school game. That's how many. Yeah, so it was wonderful.
So are you gonna just keep coaching forever? Like what are your plans?
Well, I always say God's mission, right?
God's mission.
Yeah, God put people at a certain thing for a certain reason. I've tried to stop or I've tried to pull back. And every time I do, something else coaching-wise come open someplace else.
Well, it seemed like a calling. It's not really a job.
It's not.
It's just who you are.
Mhm. And I give you a prime example of what you just said there. So I move on from college back to high school. At the college level, Doc, you got the maturity, right? You got the young ladies who's already been screamed at and already been cut down more than through high school. So when they get to college, it's between you, me, and this little piece of paper between us, right? So if you don't do what I need you to do, I'm going to tear that paper up, you can go home. I don't care. I'm going to give you a straight look, straight face, and I'm not going to care about it. I'm still going to love and hug on you.
Yeah.
But when I got back to high school, it's a little different because that concept of that young girl is not coming from high school to college. She's coming from grammar school or middle school to high school. And she's still vulnerable, still learning. So they call me the player's coach. And I like it. And the reason why is because, one, I'm still active. I practice with my girls, and they think it's hilarious. So they love it. And I think they love pushing me around and elbowing on, But it's great. And my first year there, I had a young lady, Stella Graciano. I'll put on blast as my girl. And if you remember the Real Housewives of New Jersey, that's her people.
Okay.
So she never played basketball a day in her life. Came to me, it was like, Coach, I saw you at our volleyball game. I saw you softball because I like sports. So I show up to support everyone. And she said, I want to play because I think playing on the team is going to be so much fun. I'm like, all right, it's cool. Now, she couldn't walk and chew gum. She would tell you that. She walked, she's got to stop, chew, then walk again, right? So I just told her, I just need you to take a deep breath. And I still do that to my girls today. You get anxious, just take a deep breath. It's going to be all right. At the end of the day, it's just a game, right? It's just a game. And I told him that. And I said, what can you do? And she was like, nothing. I said, sure you can. I just want you to do two things that will stack on from there. One, you can box out, and two, you can rebound. And the third thing is you can run this floor. Man, we started doing that. And then one day, probably about 4 games into the season, I think we were playing CPA.
Okay.
And she grabbed a rebound and scored a first bucket, Doc Sassy. The gym went nuts. And I was stunned. I didn't know what they were going crazy about until after the game. They told me it was her first bucket in her entire career ever.
Wow.
Ever. Oh, wow. Fast forward. She graduates. She moves on to the University of Tennessee. Well, my girls, they keep in touch with me. My guys that finish up, they keep in touch with me. I don't have to ask. I got some parents that tell me that their kids go away to school. They call back. They don't ask about the high school coach. They say, have you talked to Coach Tony? That's what made me feel good. And the biggest one of all, which is I'm about to have him on my podcast, shout out to the Pull Up Podcast Show. He graduated from, not going to say anything, you got to watch the show, you get the details. But he graduated from a local high school here in Nashville.
Okay.
And let's take, for example, your son's playing sports. And I'm the coach, and I look at you and say, Dr. Sassy, he's not going to play. He's going to come to practice. He's going to practice, but he's not going to play. And if he does play, we're either going to be getting beat so bad, I got to put him in, or we're going to be beating someone so bad, he can play. As a mother, and you hear those instructions, you're like, that ain't a good thing for my kid. What do you say? What's your response?
Play anyways. So show up.
So you would tell your kid to join that team, or you tell them, we're not going to do that?
I would probably say this is an opportunity for you to be the underdog and work hard and show up and do it anyway.
See, I love you. I will hug all on you because 90% of the parents are not going to say that. Probably 95.
Okay.
Because
if you're not going to play, then you shouldn't show up.
If that was me in your shoes and you were asking me that question, I'm like, no, my son's going someplace else.
So that they can play.
Correct. Because opportunity are plentiful now. If we did,
I don't know basketball, so you're educating me.
Yeah.
That's what most parents would say. Like, I'm not going with you. We got to go somewhere where my child's going to play.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now,
Got it.
And I'm gonna give you one. Because we're Nashville. Now, if I take you back home to my parents, my grandparents, my uncle and aunt, where there's one high school in the county, then you got a great answer. I like that.
Well, there's not enough opportunity.
Bingo. As one stock to invest in this area, we would probably put it all in the same stock.
Right.
If we have 15 stocks, we probably We will drive around. Exactly. So, but my answer was exactly what you said. That's hilarious. You gave me that answer because that's exactly what I told him. I said, listen, you haven't played ball in any of your years. You're now about to be a senior in high school. I can help. I've been down this road hundreds of times. I'm not scared to call the coaches because when you get in the opportunity to be a coach, it's a special bond. And coaches talk to coaches, which is great.
Yeah.
So I said, but I have to show the coaches that you can play at this level. So here's how smart we're going to be. Go to practice every day. Stick the best player on the team. Rough him up every single day. Beat him up till he can't walk out the gym. Show how tough you are. I said, stick there. Coach's going to get in your face. Take it. They have a Bobby Knight mentality. You know Bobby Knight's going to be in your face. Just take it. Hold out. Have tough skin. Got to be like a turtle or tortoise or rhino. Just got to have tough skin. I said, when practice is over, the days you're not practicing, let's be in the weight room. The days got days off, you don't have a day off. Let's be in the gym putting up shots. The days that you don't put up shots, let's be in the gym working on ball handling. I'll do the rest. Fast forward, school starts this year. They're from Nolensville. Mother calls me, Tony. She was in tears. I'm thinking something happened, you know. She says, my son has got into Florida A&M University, what we call FAMU. I said, okay, that is awesome. That is really awesome academically. She said, but that's not why I'm calling you. I said, why? She said, I want to thank you so much because my son became the first walk-on to the university at a Division I level. Not only that, playing for the great Charlie Ward. So if you know who Charlie Ward was, Charlie was quarterback at Florida State, who went on to stop playing football, became a point guard with the New York Knicks.
Nice.
So it was amazing. This kid who got an opportunity in high school, only in his senior year, turned an opportunity from high school based on a conversation with me. And he knew he was ready based on training and doing exactly what I told him, is now a college basketball Division I player. So we're going to get on pull a podcast show and we're going to talk about it because that's a story that needs to be heard. So those are the type of things that make me feel better, Dr. Sassy, as a coach, hearing things like that.
Not just as a coach, as a human.
Yes.
As a human.
Yeah.
You make me want to play basketball.
Come on, girl. I got you. Hey, get out. I teach you how to play deeper. Let's go. But and now, you know, is really hard because people laugh because they go places. I never forget this. My funny story. This is with one of my buddies. One day we were walking, which I forgot where we're at. I want to say maybe one of the malls or basketball. Then we were at a basketball tournament. Anyway, this little girl was shooting. I was coming back, and I was by myself, and he was already there. And she had on like this halter top, and she was out shooting the ball, and she had a six-pack. And so he said something about the girl's six-pack. But I think she may have been like a freshman in high school or something like that, if that. And his wife's like, "What are you doing?" They look at her sick. What are you doing? You're crazy. And like 10 minutes later, I walk up and says, "Can you see the little girl's six-pack?" They're like, "Well, what time did you see the same thing?" The dude was like, "Oh, you're an athlete, aren't you? You play basketball, don't you?" She said, "Yeah." The word I said, "I guarantee you're shooting, you're such and such." She said, "Yeah." And I guarantee you're a shooting guard. She said, "Yes." And I said, "Where you play ball?" Daddy walks up, she's a big ball player, Hoover High School, Alabama.
Bye.
Went on to play University of Alabama. Yeah.
And you could tell what she was playing by her abs.
Walked up, saw her, just saw her walk. It's crazy. Now, it says, it amazes me. And I got a young lady that this may drive you to tears because I didn't know the whole story.
Okay.
We're playing in Myrtle Beach 2 years ago. And go down in a tournament. And God saved us that year. There was a bad tornado coming back on 40. We didn't even know we ran right into it.
Okay.
But while we was there, we had a game that Saturday. I'd never forget this, man in the mold. And that Saturday morning, the mother, the dad, and the girl was walking in the hotel. And I'm walking to my room. And pretty tall, 6'3". And she was looking up at me. And then my guys got an elevator. It's 6'7", 6'8". Like, "Oh my God, you guys basketball team, right?" I said, "Yeah." "Sound a little basketball. I'm gonna play it. I don't know if I'm good enough." I'm like, "Sure, you're good enough. What are you talking about?" Say, "Yeah, it's all one mindset." So that afternoon, I'm on my way walking out, and I saw our mother And I said, here's tickets. Tell them to come to the game. So I got into the game for free. And she was blown out the water. She saw me coaching, really getting it to the kids. Fast forward, she exchanged numbers for me. Mother and dad was good enough to allow her, a middle school kid, to exchange a number with me. Grown man, don't even know me from man in the morning. This is also at the time that Twitter was coming about.
Okay.
It was already here. Twitter was going in Instagram. And so we started to keep in touch. She would reach out to coach, I want to play ball, I want this. And so I started sending her like mindset things like, what have you done today?
Yeah.
What kind of work you did today? What kind of push-ups, what kind of sit-ups? How many shots you got up? Didn't know, Dr. Sassy, that I was giving her a full for success. Mother calls me, started sending me her game tics, how the coach wasn't playing her. But I was telling her, don't worry about that. Keep working hard. How the coach was telling her, you can be on the team, but you're not going to do such. I'm like, I heard that story before. I know what the results were. Keep playing hard. Then her mom shocked me this year. Julian's her name, made the high school team as a freshman on varsity. And I didn't know at the time that I was meeting her, the reason why they were in Myrtle Beach was to go see an eye specialist because she was being considered legally totally blind. Yes, and playing basketball. Well, the one thing in this game I know you got to have is eyes.
Yeah. Right.
And she's done everything she can, and she stayed in touch with me now going on 3 years. She's made the high school team, leads them in scoring right now. They're working on a surgery to get her eyes corrected. And she just reached out to me like 3 weeks ago wanting to know if I could put her and help her get into some basketball camps. And I just suggested going to the University of South Carolina with Don Staley.
Okay.
Everybody want to hang out with Don, And then I just said, I'll help you do what I can do. And Mom, it just texted me about 2 weeks ago. She made it to James Madison University's basketball camp for the summer. So those are things like that, Doc, that really move me more than me saying I'm coaching and doing something, is finding those diamonds in the rough that no one knows about. And it's not helping the masses, but it's helping that one kid that may have, make a difference in that kid's life, or you don't know how close on the edge that child is. And if you can suggest something that helps them out, hey.
Who believed in you?
My uncles that beat me up. Man, hey, they're like, you don't let the family down, boy. You next. So it was funny, but I think it was hilarious as I was coming up. My uncles playing ball with them in Alabama in the summertime, and how rough they were with me.
And gave you that sense of grit,
Yeah.
work ethic, and get up and do it
Yeah,
again.
they used to say all the time, "Oh, when you get back to Chicago, you're gonna be tough." I'm like, Chicago's already tough. What are you talking about? No, you're gonna be tougher. And it was just that, probably at 11, 12 years old, playing with 29, 30-year-old grown men on a basketball court, knowing that you're gonna catch an elbow, knowing that you're gonna get pushed down, and not gonna get a foul call your way. And don't start crying, whatever. Don't forget about it. Yeah, you start crying, you can forget you're getting put off the court.
I have a maybe a final question for you. Given the work that you do with young people, what have you seen that has been uh, difficult around screen time? Phones, devices, distractions. That's a big part of the work that I do with kids, just help them detach from so much screen time and get them back into movement and connection and creativity and nature. What have you noticed in regards to high school kids and their phones? And I'm just curious your thoughts about all that.
I want you to put your twist to it too, because I want to be very curious on your side, on the academic side. Um, as a coach with us, we're a little bit different because you're attached to the phone, only because of what we do, right? So when I'm talking to the young people about um, technology, depending on what they're doing, in my world, the technology can help you in terms of if you're using the screen time for maybe recruiting purposes,
Mhm.
using screen time for maybe looking at your game,
Intentional.
Correct.
Intentional
Exactly.
screen time.
But I am not just sitting there, I don't know about you, but that, for the podcast, they got me on the Instagram about a year ago. And I tried to sit there, Doc, a lot of time to do this, and after 5 minutes, I'm done.
Uh-huh.
I may find something hilarious or kind of funny. I would rather pop on YouTube and watch a comedian or listen to music or whatever that may be. So I try to tell the kids, do not what they call get burnout. And I'll give you burnout in a couple of different ways. Have you seen that parent that pushed that child and pushed that child and pushed that child when they're young because maybe the parent either one didn't play at that next level or the parent played at the next level and they think, I know what it's like to take, I'm going to push Dr. Sassy to whatever.
Yeah.
But then the child gets to high school and don't want to be involved no more. Why? Because they've been doing this since they've been out on pamper. And so they always wonder, the kids that come my way, how would I get them so late and still get so much out of them? And I said, because it's not the quantity of the time, it's the quality that you put into them, right? I can show you how to cook a steak, but then if I let you cook the steak and I tell you what to do, you still may not do it right. So the screen time and technology, if you're using it in the right way, then,
That's helpful.
it's helpful. And then you throw a couple of nuggets out there to them, like, hey, why don't you do this? No, what are you looking at, a game? What are you looking at this? What are you looking at that? After you do that, sit it down for a while.
Yeah.
And then go practice.
Right.
So let me challenge you. So you want to work on your jump shots today? No problem. Put this on. Watch this for about 15 minutes. Then put
And
this
then
in.
do it.
Then go do it.
Yes.
All right, get off the screen for 45,
Just
50
do the
minutes.
thing.
Then go do it.
Yeah.
Then come back
Right.
and see if that's it. Or better than that, when you go do it, record yourself. Now you watched yourself.
Now you're using technology
Correct.
to inspire you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what I see a lot of times is and I'm glad they've kind of made some changes. I know I listened to the news today of the lawsuit came down with Meta and YouTube and all that for 15, 25 mil. Looks like it's going to probably continue. But the thing that I saw more with technology that you hear about is stuff like the bullying, things that become detrimental to our society.
Yeah.
I don't like what Dr. Sassy has to say, so I'm going to say something about it. I'm in LA. You think I care about what Dr. Sassy say? And I've had that. I've had people, they say, X, Y, and Z. I said, Coach, I had a situation several years ago. And one of my kids said, Coach, I respect you so much. I go, what's up? He said, man, I heard this was going on and they were saying this and that. And I never heard one response from you about the entire situation. You didn't even respond one time. And I said, my exact response to him is, what my big mama said.
Big Mama.
If you know you're right, why argue about it?
Big Mama.
If you know you're right, why argue about it?
Big Mama said that?
You know that shirt of yours is a nice looking shirt, why argue about it? It may not be a nice shirt on you, but for me, it's a nice shirt. So why argue about it? And then the other piece,
You know you're right. What are you arguing about?
right, what are you arguing about?
Yeah.
I know, right. So if you got your opinions, that's great. That's your opinion. But I know the truth, right? We know there's three sides of that, right? If your story is my story, then that's the truth.
Big Mama said
Big Mama said. So, hey, and so that's good. I get to keep Big Mama back here all the time,
Big Mama's always with you.
keep me balanced. Keep me balanced. Never, it's like I tell the kids who play sports, no matter what sports you play, Doc, you could have been a softball player. I could have been a track runner or a baseball player, whatever it may be. You choose your medicine. But at the end of the day, you're never going to be bigger than the game, right? I know they're giving these kids this NIL money. I'm glad I was one of those guys took the money, back in the days, the money was under the table. It wasn't that you took the money, but it was just you were a young athlete. If you had a great game, the booster came and said, hey, good game, Sassy. And what that's going to make you do, play hard the next game.
Right.
Now, you don't have to worry about the money under the table because they're giving it to you on top of the table. But the problem to that is the kids are getting the money now on top of the table, and the NCAA has allowed that to go so far left and right, Dr. Sassy, they can't bring it back. So the question I get all the time on a weekly basis is, has the money ruined the game? Or has it started to ruin the kids' mindset? And this is why you got the European kids are coming to the United States, and now they're getting. Look at. I know you don't follow it, but if you're in basketball, the draft, the last 2 or 3 drafts have been European heavy. The first 10 or 15 draft picks come from Europe. So I tell the kids all the time, Dr. Sassy down the street, that's not your enemy. The person you should watch is across the pond.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and it becomes hard like that. And I'm glad that they're making changes, because without those changes, and you're never probably gonna see a bigger women's advocate than you sit in front of me. Because I'm a huge other women's advocate. And so I'm so pumped up that the CBA went the women's way, and that WNBA girls are now about to start getting paid. They got a $7 million cap. They're gonna move from 300,000 to 700,000 this year, and they can make up to $1 million per player. And this is where I reached in a bit, because every day that I've been on the sideline with women's basketball, they put their shorts on the same way, they put the jerseys on the same way, and they go out and play the same way. They just don't not able to do all the flash moves and the dunks.
Right.
But to me, they play basketball the right way because it's fundamentally sound. And I'm just glad they're finally can adjust to. Awesome.
You're amazing.
Hey, I try to be. That's why I'm with Dr. Sassy. Now you get a chance to talk to the kids about that. That's interesting. Without being the athlete and talking to the kids about screen time and getting away, what has been your advice to them?
Well, the research shows that kids right now are on screens 7 to 9 hours every single day, and that by the age of 12, an average child will have been sitting in front of screens for 15,000 hours.
Wow.
So when you think about just trading half of that time playing basketball or playing a ukulele or the piano or creating art or learning to sing, it's a lot of wasted time sitting in front of screens. And so the intentionality piece is a great conversation of, how to use screens in a way that is helpful to you. And it's not detracting from a child's life, but really adding to it. That's a great perspective for me to think about, you know?
I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that, because it gives a kid something to work on or work towards. Uh, and I know, don't get me wrong, I know they talk about it all the time. We in the United States, we're behind when it comes to technology. But if I listen to those stats you just said, you wouldn't think so.
Well, kids are not breaking their bones anymore, like little kids.
Right.
They're not breaking their arms and legs like they were when we were kids. They're not at the creek. They're not climbing trees. They're not doing all of those things anymore. So a big part of the heart that I have for children, similar to yours, and maybe why we met, or just connected so quickly, is because I think that my legacy is to inspire children to get off the screens and back into creativity and movement, nature, connection, and intentionality, creating using the technology that we have rather than allowing it to just be a big old dopamine dump and an addiction after years of using, like babies that are scrolling phones, Tony. It's not okay. It's not.
I know that, and you see the parents say that they be quiet. They throw the tablet right there, and I laughed at you just said that, because I was telling my son, we were laughing and joking, and I was saying, dude, that's how we got down back in the day. Hey, I remember, you won't even believe my nickname was in my head back that day. So before I got tall, we would take the bikes, Well, we wouldn't ask it. Nothing. We steal the bikes out the house. We go. Like you said, we're in Alabama.
Yeah.
So you're doing, yeah, we're going to the river.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going down to the river.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going down to the river in the bushes. We were so bad, Doc, we would cut trails through the wood, and have ramps, and take the bicycle and go down there and jump, fall off the handle, pop out the shoulder, bust teeth, whatever. And it's funny you just said that. All the kids would take the bikes, and they would leave me a 10-speed. And 10-speed got the bar. I couldn't touch the pedals.
Oh.
So I got down below the bar and started riding like this. And they used to call me Tony Low Ride.
All right.
And so it gives me like, that's Tony Low Ride right there. I'll be, hey. But hey, I got there, I got back. But then later on, after I started growing, I started looking down at people, and I didn't have to ride those little bikes no more. Oh, funny. That was funny what you just said, because it reminded me of it, and you're right. We spent time outside. You got 3 instructions. Get out of my house, don't come back, and don't let the street lights catch you.
That's right.
That was it.
Dinner time.
And oh yeah, one more. If you run inside my house and let my air conditioner out, you ain't going back out. All right. And you know, that's how it was. And we're talking about, for me, Doc, I love it because I think I got the great balance. As a kid, I'm in a community that's probably, most shows is probably at that time 30,000 maybe. And then I'm in the city of Chicago, 15 million, and I'm coming back to school, and the teacher's asking what you do, and I'm talking about I was outside whooping a pig, riding on a horse, and getting a couple cows in. They're like, "What? You ain't seen no cow. You don't even know what a pig sound like, I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I was in Alabama, dude. Trust me. I was in the garden picking potatoes. I know everything, and it was really cool. And as I fast forward and look at the city of Nashville, the new It City now. Where's the majority of his license plates from? Illinois. Yeah, Chicago's here. At home, they call Nashville the new Chicago. Wow. Because you got so many people. So I did know that somebody pointed it out. So it won't be as much now that they've got their plates converted. But start driving around looking at license plates. You're going to see Tennessee, and Illinois, Tennessee, Illinois, all over the place. With a mixture of Atlanta and California, but majority Illinois. I got to bring it into my world now, right? Because I got to get you on pull up,
I would love
a yellow blast,
Yeah.
And, I was talking to Luke a little bit about, how it came about with me. I had a friend of mine, my co-host, Val Poison, shout out, asked me to be on her show about 3 years ago. And I did it as a joke because I didn't know nothing about the podcast world. That wasn't about me. I was just, hey, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
And I not threatened, but I kind of coerced the players that if you watch the show, you may not run some sprints today. But if you don't watch it, you may be running a lot of travel in now. So they watched it, and it was hilarious, and they gave me their feedback, and it was amazing because that show produced more viewers than she had in the entire time she had done a show, which is amazing. Yes, and so she invited me on months back, co-host a show with her. And when I first started, she had another co-anchor, and they treated me like the sports on the news. Now, you got the little 10-minute segment, and but everybody knew me.
Yeah.
All my guys want to see what I was talking about. I was fresh to the podcast work, so her numbers would be low, and then when time for sports come on, the last 15 minutes, they like quadruple.
Oh.
So I was like, something, put me in the front. No, I'm sorry, she had me in the front. And so when I would get off about 15 minutes and she started a show 10 or 15 after the hour, her numbers would drop down.
Oh.
So I'm like, put me in the back because, if I'm waiting on Dr. Sassy, I'm going to get there early.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to turn her show on before she gets there.
Yeah.
So they started doing that, and the numbers started to go in reverse. But then they still would drop in the beginning, then pop when I get on. So her and her co-anchor had some situations, and I became a new guy. And the show went bonkers. And then after that, YouTube called, wanted to spin me off. They spun me off, and I couldn't think of a name. I was telling Luke that the kids got the cool names. And a while back, the big name was Pull Up On Me. So I said, oh, wait a minute. I'm a basketball coach. Pull up jump shot. Pull for the layup. Or just pull up. So I said, it's the Pull Up Podcast Show.
The Pull Up Podcast Show.
And so now when I say, hey, Dr. Sassy, you want to give him a podcast? Just pull up on me.
So he's right.
And then my nephew, Demetrius Chalmers, a.k.a. Young Farrah, big-time rapper, put together a complete rap song for me for the show. So, Doc, I got the song, I got the boogie. You come on the show, we gonna have some fun. So,
where do people find you?
They want to look me up, a couple places. They go on Instagram. It got to the gram now at the Pull Up Podcast Show, or you can come on X or Twitter, however you want to do it, and it's at Chillman with 3 L's in it, CHILLLMAN 7. That's where at Chillman 7. Play on words, Chicago, Illinois, man. See, that's how we do it in Shy, we always like that. So And I had to get, when I met you, I was like, I gotta get on the Dr. Sassy Show.
That's right. Here you are. I'm so grateful for you.
And I appreciate you. You just don't even know. It's great. Don't worry, but we're gonna turn the table. I'm gonna have you on my show. And we'll be grilling. I'm like, hey, let's talk. Let's get it in.
Let's do this.
Let's do their show. This is good. How you been loving your show so far?
It's been fun. It's a great way to meet people and just get to know people and sit and, it's like having a cup of coffee.
Right. Now, what put you in this lane? Did you just say they're doing this podcast? I just want to get something going. Or you?
Well, I've been in a clinical office for a long time. Okay. And when my mother passed away a couple of years ago, I decided I wanted to get out of the four walls of my office and do things outside four walls. So this is sort of my butterfly year. I'm gonna fly out of there this year.
Hey, see, you met Coach Tony. You got the walls.
I mean, God, there are no walls with Coach Show.
See, that's how it works. But it's good. That's all. Well, I love it. I think you got a beautiful setup. Everybody don't know. Dr. Sassy got a great setup, and it's just wonderful. I think that if you continue to do the things you're going to do, that God blesses those who work hard towards.
Thanks for doing that. So it's so good to chill, be chill, man.
Chill on the chill, man. Hey, I'll keep packing. I didn't say my last time with the Sassy Doctor. So, hey, and by the way, everybody, down the road, you want to look for a new podcast called Dr. Sassy and the Sexy. Sassy and Sexy.
Sassy.
Sassy. Got it on. Right, you did a good time. So that's good. So thank you again. I appreciate all the time. And you guys have been absolutely great.